This is the story of a boy named Ittoki, who has a normal life like everyone else, but suddenly his life changes when he discovers that he belongs to a ninja village. So, he will have to learn to become a ninja quickly to save his village from other ninjas and thus protect his family. It's a quite interesting story, so grab your popcorn and your favorite drinks because this is about to begin. The story begins with Ittoki, a fairly ordinary high school student, who doesn't have time to hang out with his friends because he's always taking many different classes. While Ittoki was heading to one of his classes, he's followed by a girl named Kousetsu, who is like his adoptive sister. Later, Ittoki realizes he's late for his class and decides to take a shortcut. But a van goes out of control and is about to hit him. He's very skillful and manages to save himself by dodging the van. Later, we meet Tokisada, who turns out to be a friend of his father. It's worth noting that his father died years ago, and his friend took over his friend's business, with Yumika as his boss, who would be Ittoki's mother. Afterward, Ittoki asks his mother if he can reduce the number of classes he takes to enjoy his youth more. His mother tells him that youth can come to an end, but education is forever, and she also tells him not to quit his classes. The next day, Ittoki receives a letter in his locker, given by a girl named Satomi. She tells him that she has been watching him for a while and saw how he dodged that van. Satomi then asks him if they can be boyfriend and girlfriend. Later, Ittoki comes home and tells his mother that he'll be skipping gym class to meet a friend. His mother asks if he got a girlfriend, and Ittoki says yes. Ittoki also tells her that he doesn't know her and doesn't know anything about her. His mother tells him that she doesn't want him to see her and go out with her because he doesn't know her. Ittoki doesn't pay attention and ends up meeting Satomi. She doesn't waste time and invites Ittoki to her house to be alone together. While in her room, Satomi starts taking off her clothes, but Ittoki doesn't want to do anything and thinks it's probably a prank from her. So, he looks under the bed for a camera, and when he looks, he sees a person. It turns out that it was all a trap to kill him, and some ninjas appear with Satomi. However, Kousetsu appears and saves him by throwing a smoke bomb. Then, a ninja grabs Ittoki and puts him in a car, and they drive away. Ittoki screams for help. He's in the car with Riha and Kozo, two employees from his store. Later, they chase him and cause an accident. Riho helps him get out of the car, and Ittoki runs away. Then, the lights go out, and a policeman appears, asking him what he's doing there. But a ninja appears and kills the policeman, and another ninja hits Ittoki. They tie him up and gag him so he can't scream. Then, Tokisada appears and asks if the pretending to be dead policeman will get paid overtime. It turns out the policeman wasn't actually dead and gets up to fight. Tokisada puts on his ninja outfit and fights with them, but it's behind the scenes because when we come back, he has already defeated them all. Afterward, Ittoki wakes up in a car with Kousetsu and Tokisada, who tell him they're at his family mansion. When the head of the clan introduces herself, she turns out to be none other than Ittoki's mother. She tells them that they belong to a Shinobi clan from the Iga village. It turns out that working in the store is just a smokescreen so that no one suspects their true identity. Apparently, the ninjas have been hiding in the shadows for centuries to maintain peace throughout the country. But the Koga village, the largest and richest of all, is doing strange things, like trying to kill him. His mother tells him that she raised him so strictly for this day. On that day, her son would have to become a ninja, as he is the next heir of the Iga village. Ittoki still doesn't understand what's happening and suggests that they call the police if they want to kill him. But Kozo tells him that the ninjas can control the police as they wish. Then, Tokisada takes Ittoki aside to talk to him alone and explains that he has to make a significant decision because his life is at risk. He must become a ninja, and his mother told Tokisada to give Ittoki 3 options: become a ninja, die, or escape with him to avoid getting involved in all of this. Tokisada tells him that his father was a ninja, and when his father died, he should have taken his place, but he was a child and couldn't. So, his mother became the leader of the village. His mother wasn't a ninja and had to become one to protect the village and her son. So, Ittoki decides to stay because he doesn't want to leave his mother, as she protected him a lot during this time and he doesn't want to leave her alone. The next day, Ittoki wakes up, and they tell him that he has to change schools for his safety. Ittoki will have to go to a ninja academy under the jurisdiction of the National Committee for Ninja Security Measures. Later, a guy named Hosen appears at the store and wants to buy the Iga clan's shop. Later, Ittoki prepares to take the entrance exam for the new school. The exam involves playing hide and seek in pairs. If the seeker finds the other, they pass and enter the academy. If the seeker fails, the one hiding passes. Kousetsu has to search for a boy and finds him easily. Ittoki has to search for the girl who tried to kill him before, Satomi, who wants to try to kill him again. Kousetsu and Tokisada realize this and help Ittoki so that no one manages to kill him. Kousetsu finds Satomi, they fight, but more ninjas appear, and Satomi escapes. Satomi finds Ittoki, and he triggers the fire alarm, ruining her outfit, and manages to see her. However, when he's about to attack, Kousetsu saves him. Instructors appear and apprehend the girl and the others with her. They inform Ittoki that the 10 minutes for the exam have passed, and he didn't pass. Ittoki is upset about not passing the exam, and they call Tokisada to inform him that Ittoki actually passed the exam and that he should prepare to become a good ninja. Later, we meet Goshagawara, who is part of the ninja committee. He accuses Kido, the head of the Koga clan, of attempting to kill Ittoki by sending 5 ninjas to do the job. The man argues that those 5 boys were doing what they wanted and that they didn't want him in their clan. Goshagawara leaves, and they call him to tell him that the 5 boys are dead, and they don't know how it happened. The next day, Ittoki travels by train to the academy with Kousetsu. Upon arriving, they meet a girl named Ryoko. Later, Ittoki encounters some guys who recognize him, but before anything happens, a girl saves him and takes him away. Her name is Kirei. Later, they meet the director, who explains the 3 rules of the academy: don't get caught, don't kill, and don't betray. However, everything is fair as long as you're not discovered, as that's what being a ninja is about. Later, during lunch, Ittoki meets the same guys again. The red-haired guy explains things to him better. They're from the Koga clan and blame the Iga clan for killing their former leader. They plan to take revenge on each member of the Iga clan for what they did. Later, Ittoki sees the dormitories. His is plain and abandoned, while the luxurious one belongs to the Koga clan members. Later, Ittoki is in his room, and Kousetsu enters, telling him that the Koga clan boys are accusing them without evidence and that he shouldn't worry. They later have their first ninja training. All students wear a special outfit, except Ittoki, who doesn't know how to activate it but accidentally manages to. They have to go where the director is and take a pastry and return before the director eats them all. Ittoki can't move because he doesn't know how the suit works. The teacher tells him that if he doesn't learn how to use it, they might have to expel him. Ryoko appears and helps him move and gives him some advice. The other students take their pastries, but the Koga clan members cheat, hitting others to steal their pastries. Ittoki finds Kirei beaten and without her suit. Later, he sees them trying to do the same to another boy and tries to fight them but loses. The director interrupts before they can hurt him further. Later, Ittoki gives a pastry to Kirei, saying he took it from a Koga clan member. He meets Ryoko again, who promises to take care of Kirei. It turns out that the former leader of the Koga village wanted to eliminate the ninjas so that they would no longer exist, preventing future generations from getting their hands dirty with blood. Then, the scene shifts to the classroom where they see that Nemoto didn't come. The teacher says that Nemoto took early vacations. She also mentions that exams will start next week. The exams are held with all classes together, and they're intense because there are injuries every year, and in the worst cases, fatalities. The teacher says that's nothing because ninjas are used to experiencing death. Ittoki asks Kirei if he can skip the exam, and she tells him that if he failed the previous one and skips this one, they could expel him. It's likely that the Koga clan wants to harm him during this exam. Next, we meet Shion, who is seen talking to a man from the committee about the conflict between the Iga and Koga clans and how they could go to war at any moment. They, as the committee, should find a way to uncover what happened to the former leader of Koga to prevent this war. Later, we see the head of the Koga clan claiming his health is very poor, and he could die anytime. He tells Suzako's father that his son has the potential to be the next clan leader. Afterwards, Ittoki doesn't want to take the exam to avoid endangering his classmates. Ryoko tells him about a mask that, when worn with the suit, changes his appearance. This way, others won't recognize him, and they won't be able to harm him. Later, Ittoki goes for a walk and meets the director. He confides in the director about the Koga clan wanting to kill him due to blaming him for their leader's death. He asks if all ninjas are like that. The director tells him that his father had asked the same question in the past, and he didn't want to become that. Ittoki understands the director's sentiment, thinking similarly to his father, and leaves. Later, Kousetsu and Ittoki are training and return to the dormitory, where she explains her plan and takes Ittoki for more training. A boy enters, finds a paper Kousetsu had, and takes it. Later, Suzako tells his plan to kill Ittoki to other members of the Koga clan. They initially refuse but eventually accept Suzako's plan. The exam starts, where the winner is the one who obtains the rival's core, and the loser fails by losing their own core. Ittoki finds a note and realizes it was intentionally thrown to mislead the Koga clan. The boy reveals he did it because he was threatened to destroy his village. Ittoki uses his mask to impersonate that boy. Ittoki tries to attack the rival, but it turns out the boy was Suzaku, wearing a mask like him. The person with Kousetsu is other Koga clan members. They trap Kousetsu with a bomb explosion. Suzaku attempts to kill Ittoki and injures him. Ittoki tells Suzaku he won't let him kill him, as killing repeats the mistakes of the past. Ittoki creates a distraction, breaks Suzaku's suit, and triggers the exam-ending alarm before fainting. He wakes up in the infirmary, with his friends and Kousetsu by his side. Kousetsu falls asleep when she sees him awake, and the girls tell Ittoki that Kousetsu cared for him, despite being exhausted. On another day, the girls visit Ittoki's clan and meet his mother. Later, Ittoki shows them their room, and Kirei explores the mansion. Kirei passes information to Suzaku about the high security in the Iga mansion. Shion is seen in the ninja committee, stating that the Koga clan is using their former leader's death to instigate a war. She suggests investigating the Koga clan instead of the Iga clan, but the head of the committee advises against acting solely on assumptions. Later, Ittoki and the girls go shopping and learn that everyone in the store is a ninja. He encounters an old lady who gives him a note, instructing him to catch 100 fish. Ittoki tries to fish, but Kirei interrupts, revealing the girls in swimsuits. Kousetsu keeps her mask on, and when Ittoki notices, Kousetsu gives him a strange look. Ryoko provides Ittoki with a ninja fishing tool, and they compete to catch the most fish. Kirei explains that she feels like an imposter ninja because her parents are freelance ninjas, lacking a proper village. They depend on larger villages. Kirei recalls her past when her father mistreated her to prevent her from trusting anyone. Her father made her break a toy her friend had gifted her. Ittoki thanks Kirei for helping him when he entered the academy and reassures her that she's not an imposter but a good person who helps others without expecting anything in return. They finish fishing, and Ittoki asks what they will do with so many fish. They tell him that all the ninjas will gather to celebrate the chief's anniversary. Later, they move to the kitchen and have a meal. There, Ittoki learns that his mother kept the village alive. Without her, the Iga village would have dissolved. Later, Ittoki and his mother have a conversation. She reveals the secret core of the Iga and its hidden power. They inform Ittoki that the academy has closed because many students will be absent due to the upcoming Grand Ninja Reunion, which hasn't occurred in 70 years. The Grand Ninja Reunion begins, and all the clan leaders are present. The committee states that they are there to discuss the disturbance of peace between the villages, which was caused by the Koga clan. Cases of sudden disappearance of small villages have occurred, and the Koga leader denies the accusations without evidence. The committee asks all members to testify about the Koga attacks. The mother of Ittoki mentions that the Iga investigated Koga and discovered their plan to steal their most powerful core to enhance their military power. Koga plans to attack Iga under the pretext of revenge for their ex-chief's murder. The Iga have decided to destroy the core. The head of the Bizun Ryu village explains how they were attacked by Koga and now lack resources for defense. All members agree to testify against Koga. The committee announces the Koga leader's arrest for suspicion of violating ninja ordinances, and he accepts. However, Genji, the captain of the 2nd Division of the committee, presents evidence of the ex-chief of Koga's murder. They reconstructed a security camera video, focusing on its sound. Each village's core has a unique sound, distinguishing them. Investigating revealed the sound to be 99% identical to the Iga core. They arrest both Iga and Koga leaders for suspected disruption of peace. Later, the committee head watches the video, suspects manipulation, and is attacked by Genji. He reveals his resentment towards the favoritism of the Iga. Ittoki proposes to gather all Iga members and announces he will be the interim leader until his mother returns. Genji becomes the new leader after killing the former head and sentences Ittoki's mother to death, releasing the Koga leader. Later, Shion becomes the captain of the 1st Division. Genji and the Koga leader offer Ittoki's mother a deal to spare her life in exchange for the core. She refuses and is ready to die. Tokisada informs everyone and asks Ittoki to expel him so he can save her. Kousetsu threatens Ittoki, wanting to be expelled too, and claims Yumika as her only family. Ittoki refuses to expel anyone, orders a rescue mission as Iga members, and instructs them to prepare well, avoid being detected by Koga or the committee, and not kill anyone. He asks Kousetsu to save his mother and others to gather information to prove their innocence. Suzaku informs the Koga leader about Iga's rescue plan and suggests evacuating since their top ninja isn't present. Suzaku wants to join the attacking unit against Iga. His father initially refuses, but the Koga leader allows it. Later, Suzaku's father joins others from the Koga committee to convince the leader to attack Iga. Koga uses its political power to lie, forcing civilians to evacuate due to alleged undetonated bombs and a toxic gas releasing fire. They also disrupt the signal in the area where Iga is located, effectively declaring war on Iga. So, they go on the defensive to defend themselves from Koda's attack. They fire missiles, but Koda has brought highly resistant robots that the missiles have no effect on. Later, Tokisada and Kousetsu manage to rescue Yumika, but Genji and his army are waiting outside. Tokisada decides to fight alone against all of them while Kousetsu takes Yumika away. Next, we return to Ittoki and the girls. Ryoko discovers the weakness of the ninja robots. They consume too much energy. This is likely why some robots withdraw from combat, as they need to recharge somewhere nearby. This is precisely why they're searching for the secret core, as its infinite energy would make the robots practically invincible. They calculate potential recharging locations for the robots, but the area is vast and dangerous to send ninjas to. Ittoki decides to go himself as the interim leader, but Ryoko insists on joining. He tries to discourage her, but she reveals her father created the robots, which Koga is now using for malicious purposes. Kirei claims she'll stay since she can't be of much use, but it's obvious she's a traitor. Later, it appears she was about to inform the Koga about Ittoki's plan but seemingly doesn't. We return to Tokisada, where he seems to have defeated everyone except Genji. Shion arrives and stops Genji as a suspect in the ex-chief's murder. Kousetsu arrives, and they see their mist-covered village and the chaos unfolding. Tokisada can't communicate with the village and doesn't know the situation. Ittoki's mother expresses her desire to go to the village, so Tokisada allows her, but with caution. Returning to Ittoki and Ryoko, they've located where the robots recharge. Ryoko suggests they return with reinforcements, but Ittoki notices few guards and asks for help to destroy the robots immediately. Ryoko agrees and gives him a device to disable the robots. She insists on helping to support the Iga. They rush in, and Ryoko deploys the device, stopping the robots for 10 seconds. However, they are captured. When they're about to kill Ittoki, a robot grabs the explosive and hurls it towards the robot charging station. Ittoki triggers the explosion. Afterward, he finds Kirei in a mask, who helped. Later, Genji is detained, and Shion informs him that others confessed him as the murderer and betrayed him. Genji claims to be in control and uses hand gestures to manipulate Kousetsu, who ends up killing Yumika. Ittoki arrives and finds his mother and Kousetsu dead on the ground. Kido is shown attacking other villages that opposed him in the committee. Ittoki must now be strong and become the leader of the Iga clan after his mother's death. Kido plans a second attack on the Iga village, and Suzaku learns his father died for opposing Kido and seeking the best for the village. In Iga, the other ninjas ask Ittoki to kill Kousetsu for being a traitor, and they also want to attack Koga. Shion urges Tokisada to help the committee stop Kido since Genji is detained and the academy director heads the committee, and everything seems under control. She also provides information about Kousetsu's connection with the Koga. Later, Ryoko and Kirei return home as things calm down, and the girls head to their respective villages. Tokisada tells Ittoki to visit Kousetsu. When he arrives, he finds her tied up, and Tokisada explains it's to prevent her from harming herself as she seemingly wants to die. He asks her to explain what happened, and Kousetsu mentions hearing a bell inside her head and having fragmented memories after that. And when Yumika returned, she was lying on the ground covered in blood. Kousetsu asks Ittoki to kill her because she has lost the will to live. Tokisada explains what happened to her. The Koga created a chip that they implant in people's brains to control them. It turns out that Kido had many children with the intention of placing this chip in them to send them to other villages as unconscious spies. This is what makes Kousetsu Kido's daughter. In the end, Tokisada delivers two pieces of news, good and bad. Yumika's wound was different from the wounds Kousetsu inflicts, which means that if it had been her, the wound would have been more lethal. This indicates another traitor in the village. And if you're wondering whether Kirei killed Yumika, you're mistaken. She was in her own village, and when she was about to reveal what she knew, Koga ninjas appeared to kill her. Her father sacrificed himself to save her. Later, we see Ryoko visiting her father at the hospital because the Koga cut off his hand due to his complaints about mistreatment. Later, at Ittoki's mother's funeral, Suzaku arrives, making the moment even more painful. However, he's there out of respect for her death, but they end up arguing after something Suzaku says. Ittoki questions whether Suzaku has any feelings, and Suzaku explains that Kido went insane and that his father was killed for opposing the attack on the Iga village. Suzaku later finds a memory card at home containing the recording of Kashimaru's death, revealing that it was actually Kido who killed him. Later, Kido sends a letter to Ittoki, asking him to hand over the core in exchange for not destroying them. The Iga members know it's a lie, as they would likely be killed anyway. Ittoki takes a few days to decide, and then he decides to give Kido the Iga core under the condition that he spares the other villages. This causes discontent among the Iga members as they see it as an act of cowardice and don't want to surrender to Koga. Ittoki warns that if they refuse to accept his decision, he will expel them from the Iga village. In the committee, Shion refuses to let Iga hand over the core to Kido and that Koga shouldn't have it either. However, the director says they have no evidence to stop them, as the attacked villages are all dead, and ninjas are missing. The only evidence they have is Koga's attack on Iga. Later, Kido doesn't respond to the committee's request and proceeds with the second attack on Iga. Shion visits the Iga village to convince Ittoki not to hand over the core and suspects that Koga is planning another attack. Later, Kirei visits Ryoko and finds her preparing new weapons as she has decided to fight against the Koga. Kirei confesses that she was the one who betrayed Ittoki, but Ryoko still considers her a great friend and appreciates the moments they shared. Later, Suzaku calls Kido and offers him evidence of Kido killing the ex-chief of Koga, demonstrating his loyalty. He wants to be part of the second attack on the Iga village. Kido agrees and tells Suzaku that someone will be sent for him, and then he should join the units for the second attack. Later, in the Iga village, the ninjas refuse to sign the peace treaty with Koga and won't give up Iga. Ittoki threatens to expel them from the village if they continue to disobey. The Iga members plan to remove Ittoki from his position as the chief in a coup. Later, Kirei arrives in Iga to apologize to Ittoki, but Tokisada receives her and informs her that Ittoki is busy. Kirei asks Tokisada to convey her apology to Ittoki for betraying him. Tokisada reveals that he already knew about her betrayal but forgives her because she helped destroy the robot charging base. He also mentions there's another traitor in Iga. Later, the coup is about to begin, and Reiha enters to steal something, but Kozo stops her. It's revealed that Reiha was the traitor and the one who killed Yumika. The coup was a ruse to reveal the traitor. Reiha killed Yumika because she sent her comatose husband on a mission, and he couldn't be saved, blaming her. Reiha takes a pill and dies as her mission is complete. Later, Kozo reads the letter Ittoki left, apologizing for lying about the plan. He tells them to leave the village because as long as they're alive, the Iga will continue to exist. Later, we see Suzaku providing information to Tokisada about the video implicating Kido in the assassination of the former chief. He warns them not to get in his way, as he has plans to avenge his father's death. Later, we see Kousetsu, who has removed the chip, joining Tokisada and Ittoki to confront Kido. It's revealed that the secret core is stored in the armor worn by Ittoki. When they arrive, they are attacked by numerous ninjas, but Ryoko and Kirei appear to assist them. Kirei confesses to Ittoki that she betrayed them by sending information to Koga, but now she's come to make amends by helping them. Ittoki forgives her, and the girls go into battle. Robots appear, and Ittoki uses the core to defeat them. A ninja tries to attack Ittoki, but Tokisada saves him. Kousetsu takes Ittoki away, while Tokisada stays to fight the remaining enemies. Later, more Koga ninjas encounter Kousetsu and Ittoki, but Suzaku arrives to help them escape while he stays to fight the others. Ittoki and Kousetsu confront Kido, and Ittoki talks to him to determine if Kido is truly evil or just made bad decisions. Kido confirms his malevolence and tries to provoke Ittoki into attacking him. Ittoki doesn't take the bait and reveals that he recorded everything, providing evidence for the committee to arrest Kido. The committee watches the recording and enters the mansion to apprehend Kido. Ittoki tells Kido to accept the punishment he deserves and that his fate is now in the hands of the committee. Kido dons his special suit, and they engage in a battle. After a brief and intense fight, Ittoki emerges victorious. Kido delivers a speech admitting he never had another option but to be the villain. The protagonist decides to spare Kido's life, but Kido attempts to shoot him from behind. Tokisada intervenes and kills Kido, saying to put the blame on him so the committee can leave Iga in peace. After the ending, the anime concludes with an epilogue showing the characters several years later. Kozo and the villagers of Iga are alive and happy. Tokisada remains hidden while protecting Iga. Ryoko has made a prosthetic arm for her father and become an engineer. Kirei becomes an actress and performs for a clan using her smokescreen as part of the show. Suzaku has turned Koga into an honest and respected place. Kousetsu lives a peaceful life having left her ninja days behind, and Ittoki saves a child from the train tracks while wearing normal attire, suggesting he now has a regular job as a Japanese office worker. And that's how the first season of this anime ends. If you've reached this part of the video, let me tell you that you've been one of the few people to make it this far. So comment the word ninja in the comments. Remember to subscribe to not miss any videos. With that said, see you in the next video.